Yeah, so really, and I know we've been on about this for a few weeks now, about knowing it's okay to appreciate yourself and love yourself. It's a big thing, you know, because it's kind of a derogatory thing when we say, oh, he loves himself or she loves herself. But the truth is, this is where it starts. And I've been saying to someone this week, if we want to really get people to feel love, then we have to start with ourselves. There's a certain incongruency if someone can feel that you really don't like yourself that much or you're beating yourself up. So we're going to start by getting there. And within that, then when we hear that voice, which inevitably will come at some point, we can just get back to where we should be and say, no, I am a good person. I am worthy of doing this for. And we can just silence that voice in our head. And recognize, I know I've said this a few times now, but recognize that voice is not yours. It's probably not yours. I've been running this thing and teaching our students this new technique, which started in this group, to be honest with you, which I call the blink and delete technique. When a voice comes up in our head that's criticizing us or saying that we can't do something or can't achieve something, the technique is very simple, and I'll go over it again for you because I want you all to learn how to do it. Because I think of all the things that I've hang on a second, it's wrong, hit the wrong thing there. Of all the things that I've kind of thought up or developed, this is one of my favorites purely because it's where am I? Just want to get this thing right. Purely because it does do that. It silences it. So when a thought comes up, I can't do this, I can't do that, or we're criticizing ourselves, this is the question. I know if you haven't heard this before, I hope you can get it down. And most of you I know have already heard it, and I hope you're using it. The question is, when did I make that decision about myself or about this situation? When did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? And was it even my decision? And that last part of that question, was it even my decision? When you look at these things that we stuck with, the chances are it wasn't your decision. It was someone else's opinion. And when we look at it again from there and we say, is that decision any longer viable now that I've evolved? Now that I know what I know and I've experienced what I've experienced, is that decision any longer viable, or is it obsolete? If the answer comes back, it's obsolete, it's no longer valid, you blink twice and you delete it. And then you bring yourself to a neutral emotion. And I've taught you how to do this, and I hope you're using it, where you're what I call TPM, total perception management, where you come back to neutral emotion and you make a new decision. And in neutral, you can make the right decision, take the right action, get the right outcome for yourself. And you all have these tools to do this now. I'm looking down in the corner here because I can see people here. That's better. All right, gotcha. Got all you on my screens now. Okay, so that's really what we're going to do today. I'm just going to take you into the most profound, wonderful state of hypnosis, way beyond anything you've experienced before, so that you can get in touch with, as Luba was saying earlier, your higher self, the part of you that actually knows what you can and cannot achieve. We've done this over the last few weeks. If you haven't been with me, you're going to experience it tonight again. But I'm going to take you back. This is not regression. This is taking you back to experience what you felt when you were a baby, not a child, not a toddler, not learning to speak, but back to a time when you were your true essence, your true natural intelligence, that natural intelligence that we're born with, that gets taught out of us as we get older. Things we shouldn't do, things we shouldn't experience. You know, as all children, if you've got children, you'll know this. At some point, they become aware of their sexuality, maybe 5 years old, 3 years old, 5, 6 years old. And we are told by our parents, because of our society, we're not allowed to experience that. We're not allowed to touch that part of your body. You're not allowed to feel that pleasure. And we grow up with these kind of limitations, but that's not what we're born with. So I'm going to get you back, not to that point, but get you back to your natural intelligence that you were born with. That feeling that when you're a baby, you just don't have any limitations. You just think all you want is love and security and comfort. That's all we need. And at some point this evening, I'm going to get you back to that feeling so that you can reclaim that feeling that we all have before we get educated out of it. So you know your true essence. What Luba was talking about earlier about the higher self, the essence of who you are. Some people, depending on what religion you are, might call that spirit, might call it the soul. But I'm going to talk about the essence that we're born with. And the essence of who you are, it's ageless. I mean, let's think about something in your past. That's a nice feeling in the past, something happened with, a nice day at school or a birthday or something, not a traumatic experience, but think about a time in your past. Just close your eyes and just go back to that moment. Make it a pleasant one. A time in your life when you felt really happy or really good. Go back to that moment. Okay, you there? Okay, open your eyes. How old were you when you were there? You weren't younger. Go out into the future. Go out into a time 20 years from now or 10 years from now. Go out to a positive time in the future and drop down into that memory. How old are you in that? Did your age change when you look back at when you were 5 or when you were 20 years from now? The essence of who we are is ageless. It never ages. It's a strange experience. Yes, our physical body will age and it will slowly break down and eventually it will disappear. But the essence of who you are, that intangible part of your being, the observer in your physical form, the passenger that watches you behaving. And sometimes you can look at yourself like you would do a child that's learning, that's making mistakes. And sometimes I want you to try and do this for yourself, not try, do it. When you think about things you've done in the past, that now you look back, you think that was ridiculous, I wish I hadn't done it. But look on it from where you are now and look on it like you would do a child that's making mistakes, that's learning. You don't feel really terrible about a child. You still love that child. In fact, you probably kind of savor that moment when your kids do something or someone you love does something that you know, because you know differently, because you're older, might be ridiculous. So there's a big thing all around therapy at the moment about forgiveness. Forgive your enemies, forgive other people, and forgiving ourselves. I'm going to say to you, you don't need to forgive yourself, because whatever you've done in the past, whatever experience you've had, whatever mistakes you've made, you are only making a decision at that point in time with the best information you had at the time. It's easy to look back and say, oh, that was a stupid thing to do, I wish I hadn't done it. But I honestly believe, and I know most of you are here doing therapy and you're working with other people, you're helping other people. I believe that everything about us is geared toward thriving. It will take you from being ill to well-being, given a chance. It will take you from sad to happy. It will take you from failure to success, given the opportunity. A lot of the time, through programming, through education, through the limitations of society, there's a block which says, no, I can't do that, or I shouldn't do that. And it stops us from being everything we want to be. What Luba was talking about earlier, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Luba, because I was listening to you earlier, because we're talking about the same lines. You're talking about higher self, I'm talking about the essence of who we are. But what Luba was saying was that if we live within that higher self, and it's difficult because we have egos, and we have things that we know other people are judging us by. But if we can get to that point where we're just tapping into the essence of who we are, so we're observing ourselves, we're observing our behavior without judgment, without blame, without criticizing, and appreciating that we're all different and we're all human beings. And as human beings, we're I was going to say inflammable. That's not the word. Infallible. We make mistakes. We might be inflammable. I don't know. But, you know, I'm going to stop using big words. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So anyway, as human beings, we make mistakes. And we just have to look at it and go, well, that might have been, I could have done that better. I should have done it better. But it's in the past. And as I've been saying to you for weeks and months now, the past is a vacuum. It's a void that stretches back to the Big Bang. It doesn't exist. Even what I've just said is now in that void. So we can look back and we can look back and we can make judgments on ourselves. We can criticize ourselves. Or we can say, that happened. But as Forrest Gump said, shit happens. You know, we make mistakes and we can look at it again. If we want to do it in that way, when did I make that decision? Where was I? Who was I with? How old was I? Was it even my decision? Look at it again. If it's not viable, delete it. Take any strengths from it and then let go of any emotion that's attached to it, because it doesn't exist anymore. You don't have to forgive yourself. You just have to look at it from where we are now and understand you're evolved. You're not the same person that met when we met 8 weeks before Christmas. You are not. You're not the same person you were a week ago. You've evolved. And yet most of us are functioning on decisions we made years and years ago. And here's the worst and saddest thing about it. I know I've said this to you before. If I keep repeating myself, that's down to my age, Jackie. I can't help it. But you got to understand that I forgot what I was going to say now, Jackie. You made me forget completely what I was going to say. Just shows you, doesn't it? But you know, we can look back and we can just say that was then, this is now. I've evolved. Just let it go. And that's what I was going to say. It's come back to me now. The saddest part about it is, I know it's terrible, Philip, and I'm making you yawn, but I have that effect on some women. And anyway, the saddest part about it is that 60–70% plus of who we believe we are, or what we think we are, what we think we're capable of, that decision about ourselves was made by a child under 7. That is the saddest thing about us as human beings. Most of who we believe we are, what we think we're capable of, even our religious beliefs, were created by a child under 7. And when we come against the block and we go, when did I make that decision? I promise you, a lot of the time, you'll flip back to a time before you were 7. You might have been 4 years old. And imagine you would not have a 4 or a 5-year-old making a lifelong decision about itself. And yet most of the beliefs we have about ourselves were placed on us as kids, and generally someone else's opinion, and sometimes well-meaning. You know, if your mother thinks that you're what they would say is you're dreaming, and I believe it was Philippa that was saying about dreaming. I'm not sure. I've watched a few groups now, but and how people kind of crush those dreams and say you're dreaming too much. Don't keep running off on your imagination. Come back. This is the real world. Stop dreaming. And people do it with good intent. They think, you know, I don't want my kid to be a daydreamer, and they crush those dreams. But when you look at it again, it was someone else's opinion. You didn't have that opinion at that age. You believed when you dreamt those things that you could achieve it. It's only when people say, oh, look, stop dreaming about achieving that or doing that, because we live in this kind of house. Don't dream about what someone else can do. This is where you're going to be. For me, I left school with absolutely 0 qualifications. It wasn't even on my periphery that I could go and get a college degree or I could achieve these things in my life. It was, you go to school, you leave school at 15, you get a job, any job that you can earn some money at. And that's where my life was. And I didn't expect anything more. My poor brother, I've got 4 brothers, but my younger brother, John, I went to a secondary school because I didn't pay any attention at school at all. Went to a secondary school. My brother, John, who is a genius and has gone on to make zillions, he passes 11 plus. My mum couldn't afford another uniform, couldn't afford a different uniform to the one I had. So he went to the secondary school. It didn't stop him because, as my mum would say, people in water always find their own level. It doesn't matter. You can put someone down, you can take away everything they've got, but they will always find their own level. And as I say, my brother's gone on to make zillions, but he didn't go to grammar school. In fact, probably luckily, because if he'd gone to a grammar school, he might be an accountant or something instead of the genius businessman that he is. So what I'm saying to you is expectations for us as kids, there's someone else's opinion. My oldest son and my oldest living son, because my oldest boy died, but my oldest living boy, he's 50 this year. When he was at school, and you know, we all think our kids are genius. We all think, you know, look, they're just genius. But I thought he was genius, and the fact was he is genius. But when he was at his primary school, when he did his 11 plus, his headmaster said to me, well, "Don't expect too much. You know, he's streetwise, but he's not academic, and don't expect too much from his 11 plus." If I had believed that, and if I'd guided him in that way, saying, "Look, don't expect too much. You know, I'm saying I'm saying to him, you're a genius." And now my son, when he came home, bear in mind, you know, from the kind of background we come from, none of my siblings went to the grammar school, apart from my brother John, who didn't go because of me. But that was our kind of life. So he came home, and my wife at the time, his mum, it's Anthony's mum as well. So he came home. She said, "How'd you go on your 11 plus?" He said, "Oh, I finished it." He said, "And I had like 10 minutes to spare." He got a clip around the ear for that. You know, you've blown that. You should have sat and studied longer. Looked at it again. The kid passes 11 plus with the highest mark the school had ever had. And one of his teachers came into my business at the time, so I'm not really supposed to tell you, but your son Dean passes 11 plus with the highest mark the school has ever had. Now, had he listened to what the teacher said, if I'd relayed to him what his headmaster has said, he probably wouldn't have thought anything of it. But again, you know, it's other people's opinions. We have to, and we're living with them. All of us are living with beliefs that were placed upon us by other people. Once you get to your higher self, where you can feel into the essence of who you are. And the truth is, once we get to that point, once we drop our limitations, there's very little we cannot achieve. Philippa and Bertie are on our course. They're running, I know they're planning some training and stuff together. And I know both of them had just done this group, and both of them, when they suddenly saw they had 60, 70, 80 people, whatever it was, booked, were a bit of trepidation. But where's that fear gone now, Philippa? Now it's thinking, how can I get 500 people on a group? And without any fear. And yet a week ago, that was the problem. Once we get to our higher self doesn't have those limitations. The essence of who you are doesn't have any of those limitations. It doesn't care if you fail. That's the joy of it. That's what stops us from doing things, is that fear of failure. But your higher self, the essence of who you are, is willing to do anything because it's intangible. It can't be affected by failure. It can't be affected by what other people say. Your ego can feel that. When someone says something derogatory and you think, oh, that's gone straight into my heart, and now I can't do anything for next week. the essence of you can't feel that. It doesn't, because it's intangible. It's limitless. It's ageless. It's infinite. It has no edge. And we're going to tap into it again tonight. I've just had the experience. Luba's just taken me through an experience in her group that we did earlier to experience that higher self. And it was nice because I've never had anyone guide me there. And it was a nice feeling. So I'm going to take you all there so you know exactly what you can do. And understanding that you are not your body. You are not your name that was given to you. You are not your thoughts. You know, there's that saying, I think, therefore I am. I don't see it that way. I see it the other way. I am because I think. But the truth of the matter is, none of you know what you were thinking this time yesterday. None of you know what you're going to be thinking 3 thoughts from now. Do you? But we think, therefore I am. No. They bubble up. Every now and again, your consciousness is sparked by one of them. And it goes, oh, that seems interesting. But there are thousands of thoughts that are bubbling up all the time. And each of those thoughts start wherever they come from. Someone will say it's these, I mean, Persis, you were talking about theta plane and the different levels of living and playing, weren't you? So where do you see thoughts come from? What plane of existence do they come from within a human being? Where do they come from, these thoughts? What would you say? Have you got, is it, I mean, I'm not, because I listened, but I don't know. What would you say? Where do you say your thoughts come from?
I think they come from our higher self. That's my perception.
Right.
They come from.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. They're correct.
Sorry, but only positive thoughts come from our higher self. All the rest, it's ego. Well, higher self has nothing to do with negativity. So I pointed out to you.
I agree to that.
This is what I was going to say, Luba, and any of you can prove me wrong, and any can join in this conversation. But my belief is this: every thought starts as a pure thought, as a positive thought. Every thought starts as a positive thought. But what it has to do is travel through this matrix of your experience of life. The things that have happened to you, the pain you've been through, the trauma you've been through, the love you've had, the love you've lost, all of that stuff is a matrix of all of your experiences. If you imagine a matrix between the beginning of that thought, which is positive and pure, and your conscious awareness, the thought bubbles up, it travels up through the matrix of who you are, and on the way it gets distorted because of your experiences. If there wasn't that, that's what we were saying about a child. A child hasn't had these experiences, hasn't had the pain, it hasn't had the trauma, it hasn't had the broken heart, it hasn't had any of those things yet. And so a thought for a child, a baby, I'm not talking about a toddler, because by the time you get to a toddler, that stuff's already starting to be placed on you. What you can and cannot do, what you should and shouldn't do. But the pure essence of a baby, there isn't this matrix. I believe, as Luba said, that all thoughts begin as a positive thought, as pure love, as pure thought. And so once we clear out this matrix, which we can do by asking these questions over and over again, when did I make the decision to have this experience? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? Once we start clearing them and deleting them, then it gives more space for that pure thought to reach our conscious awareness as a pure thought. And then your life changes. Then the way you think changes. The way we treat other people changes. The way we treat ourselves, more importantly, changes. For me, when I see people, and I saw a client earlier today, wants to lose weight, but there was a list of things that she needed more energy and more zest for life and this and this and this. And I said, and she's got kids like many of our clients do. And I just said to her, and I want all of you to think about this as well. Just start showing yourself the same love that you show your daughter or your son, or your niece or your nephew, your grandchild. When I see people who are doing themselves in with drugs, smoking, cocaine, cannabis, whatever it is, they're killing them. I ask the question, would you want your child doing it? Because they say, I love my cigarettes. I smoke when I'm bored. I say, well, would you, your kid came to you and said, Dad, I'm bored. Would you say have a fag? No. It's ridiculous. You know, I used to have people come and see me and they say, well, I smoke as a reward. You know, I think my pennies now. I say I smoke as a reward. I've done my ironing, done my housework. I think I'll have a cigarette as a reward. I say, well, it's like me saying I've had a really good day at work. I think I'll stick this pen in my eye as a reward. It's ludicrous. No, I'm going to kill myself as a reward for doing the ironing. No. But we say these things. We make these excuses for ourselves, for the way we behave. But when I ask that question, I want you to think about, ask the client the question, when they're killing themselves or they're beating themselves up, would you want your kid doing this? If the answer is no, then do yourself the same kindness. If we all ask that question, even this group started out as creating the body health and happiness group. So we know, and a lot of you are getting there, I can see it. But you know, when it started out, that's what it started out as, and it still is the same, because it's all within the same idea. But if we'd ask this question when we go to eat food, why am I about to eat this food? Is it because I'm hungry, emotional, or bored? And I promise you, you'll be amazed how often you're eating for reasons other than you're hungry. It's the same question. If your child was overweight and they said to you, Mum or Dad, you know, I'm miserable, it's making me feel bad, it's ruining my confidence. Every one of you in this group has enough education to take that child and give it the right food, feed it the right food, take it for a walk, do whatever you do. If your daughter of 13 or your son of 14 was miserable because he's overweight, you would take him and you would feed him the right food and you would give him the right exercise. All we have to do, if we want to live the best life we can, if we want to be as healthy as we can, is treat ourselves with the same love and kindness that we'd show someone we love. That's it. It's not complex. Ask the question, would I want my son doing this? Would I want my daughter doing this? Would I want someone speaking to my child like this? If the answer is no, then don't put up with it yourself. Because you are worthy. You are worth more. A lot of you are therapists and you all know this. The major problem for most of your clients is this. They don't value themselves. They lack self-esteem. They lack self-confidence. They lack self-worth. My goal, and you know because I've been working with a lot of you for a long time now in these groups, my goal in every session, whether it's a group session, one-to-one, I want my client to understand their real worth, their real value. And by that, I mean the value that goes beyond the house they live in, the clothes they wear, the car they drive. Because if you don't understand that, you are not going to look after yourself. To find that higher self, that essence of who you are, and recognize that the essence of who you are is pure. It's incredible. I've been saying it to you for weeks. You are the most incredible creation in the known universe. Whether there are other galaxies with other planets, with other human, or well, kind of, you know, intelligent beings on, we don't know. But to our knowledge at this point, think about that. Think about the size of of this galaxy, and there are, I don't know how many zillion galaxies. And if in all of our universe, we're the only planet that's got any kind of intelligent life. I can't say that tongue in cheek, but we're the only ones with kind of any intelligent life. There is no one else like you in the history of the universe. Think about how far it goes back to the Big Bang. There has never been anyone like you, Diane. You are unique. You are incredible. So are you, Petra. So are you, Philippa. So are you, Nicola. So are you, Lana. All of you. You are the most incredible creation ever in the known universe. There has never been anyone like you. There will never be anyone like you again. You are unique on a planet of 7.5 billion people. Think about that. There is no one else like you. You have a right to go, yippee. I'm going to look after this thing I call my body. I understand it's not who I am, but I also understand that people judge you by your transport. They make judgments. This is my transport. Freddie, the essence of who I am, that intangible part of my being, I would say is somewhere here. Probably not. But that's how I kind of think I'm the passenger in this human form. But I do recognize that it is my transport. Without this transport, I can't communicate with you. I can't speak. I can't move. I can't experience physical pleasure without this transport. But people judge you by it. If two women go for a job and one's 4 stone overweight, even with the same qualifications, the chances are the thinner woman is going to get that job. I mean, how sick is that? But it's true, because people make an instant judgment on your transport. I have a 20-year-old BMW. In fact, it's 21 years old. It's still got cassettes. It hasn't even got CDs. That's how old it is. It's got cassettes. And but if people, I know people will look at my old car. It's going, you know, I love it. It's got heated seats. I can't, you know, can't knock it. But it's, people will go, well, it can't be doing very well. You know, I paid 500 quid for that car a couple of years ago, and I'm loath to get rid of it, but because it's comfy. It's got a sunroof and got heated seats, cassettes, if I could ever find one again. But you know what I'm saying is, people will make judgments about your transport, and it's true. But this is my transport. I have to look after it, because I can go to my BMW. If a wheel falls off, it might do soon, I can go and get another wheel, but I can't get any more. This is my body. I have to look after it. But it's not who I am. I recognize it's not who I am. And the joy of that is when I am experiencing something like I'm craving some food, or I'm feeling some kind of useless pain in it, I can remind myself, I understand my body's experiencing this discomfort, but it can't touch me. Try it the next time you stub your toe. Instead of kind of getting into it and go, oh, toe's really painful, just say, you know, that really hurt my foot, but it's my body, it's not me, it can't affect me. I'll tell you, you should forget about it. It's very strange. This is happening to my body, but it's not who I am. I can look at it, I can laugh at what it does sometimes and what it can't do, but it's not who I am. And once you've got your head around this, once you tap into that you are more than your body, you are more than you ever thought you were, then we can start to transform the way we live and the way we feel. You can absolutely do this and start to treat yourself with the love that you deserve. No, it's okay to be kind to yourself, to treat yourself with love, to treat yourself with kindness, to feed yourself the right nutrition, to give yourself the right hydration, and to allow yourself some pleasure now and again. I've gone through these last 68 years or 69 years. I've always say chained to a chimp. That's how I feel. And my chimp has been really naughty in its time. It just wants to play. It wants to have sex. It just wants to eat as much as it can. It's a really, it's a really naughty chimp. But we kind of coexist within this thing. The essence of who I am, the higher part of me, the kind of intelligent part of me that wants to learn and wants to do those things. But and I recognize that I am chained to this chimp, but I have to my chimp has to have some time out, because like any other animal, if you keep it chained up, if you don't let it have fun, if you don't let it have a run, it's going to get angry. And in fact, it's going to get miserable. And in the end, it's going to die, like any animal that's chained up. So we coexist. But instead of beating ourselves up over it, me and my chimp, we have this kind of agreement. Every now and again, I'm going to let him have a run, as long as every now and again he lets me learn something without interfering. It's just the way I see it. But the essence of EI is way beyond that. So I know I've been talking a lot tonight because I want you to understand this. And Luba has inspired me as well, as Philippa has, and from what I've heard from Lana and all the rest of you doing these groups, these incredible things. I get inspired, and that's why I'm talking so much tonight. I want you to understand this. And so you can start to be kinder to yourself. Just be a bit kinder. Just treat yourself with the love that you would treat other people in your life that you love, that you treat your child or your partner or your niece or your nephew or any of your clients. Just for today, I want you to think about the people whose lives you've already changed with your understanding, your love. Between us, that is an army of people who are living better lives because they came in contact with you, because you took the time out to learn something, to learn a skill that you can help other people with. And it's so easy to forget about that when we're beating ourselves up. It is so easy to forget. We have to remind ourselves every now and again. And the other thing about it is we look in the mirror and we will see everything that's wrong with us. It's not what other people see. It's really not. And sometimes we have to listen to what other people think and accept it, because we're never going to think it ourselves. Anyway, that's my monologue for this evening. There's another big word I've just learned. I don't even know what it means, but I'll say it again. That was my monologue for this evening. So anyway, we're going to get into this. I'm going to take you into the most profound state of hypnosis, where you can get in touch with your higher self. We're going to leave your body in the chair for a while and just drift. Lana's in place. Look, she's ready. Diana, she's getting ready. Glasses off, getting prepared.
Sorry, may I interrupt you? Freddie, may I interrupt you shortly? Just before you go, and those who were not there, there's this tool how to connect before you go. You just drop.
Shall I teach them then? Because you've taught me. Shall I teach everyone?
Yeah. Go ahead, teach. Yeah, right, and okay. I can see if you've learned it well.
Let's see if I've learned what you've taught me this evening. All right,
that's right.
This is Luba's technique for connecting with your higher self, right? I want you all to do this. You can just close your eyes and under your eyelids, look up at where your third eye would be. So let your eyes roll up under your eyelids to where your third eye would. Now go even higher, right to so you're looking, if you like, through the top of your head. So you roll your eyes right up, and as you do that, you take a deep breath in, you hold it, and you just say connect. Then you breathe out, do it again, take that breath in, look at that, look up to where your third eye would be. Now look up through the top of your head, so roll your eyes right up through the top of your head. Take that breath in, hold it, and say the word connect with the intention of connecting with your higher self. Exhale and do it one more time. So you breathe in, look up again through the top of your head, take that breath in, hold it, say the word connect with the intention of connecting with your higher self, and then allow your breath to exhale. Okay, you can open your eyes. Is that okay, Luba?
Wonderful. Just the honest thing, the intention should go to your heart. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The eyes, your all eyes, but your intention in the heart. And this is like goes, yeah, but all the rest is perfect. Just be that your intention is not jumping like those chimps, what Freddie was telling. Just be in your heart. Because chimps are connected to the body, to this ego. Yeah, this is their chimps, and they need to be, because it is a material stuff, and we need to have those chimps because we need to push our body to eat and to exercise. And higher self doesn't need body. That's why it goes through. Thanks. Perfect.
Okay. Unfortunately, my chimp can't jump anymore. It just hasn't got the legs anymore. I can imagine it jumping. That'd be good enough. All right, look, all of you, just get into this with me. Okay, understand for this next half hour or so, you are all that matters. Put everything else out of your mind. You're all that matters to me. I want you to enjoy this and get in touch with that higher self. Before as we get into this, as I start, I want you to think about something. Something beyond material, beyond the material goal. A goal for yourself, something that you would like to feel, or something you'd like to learn, something you'd like to, just appreciate more beyond the material. If you can think about that, don't have to think about it too much. Try and keep that as your intention as we get into this. Okay, so I want you all to do this. Get yourself comfortable. Whatever happens next, the chair will support you. Place your hands separately and place your feet separately if you can. And when you're ready to do this, take that deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close, but only as quickly as you're ready to get in touch with the essence of who you are, that intangible part of your being that is pure love, that has no edge, that is ageless, is infinite. And as you just relax your eyes and relax your body, I'm going to say these words, and I want you in your own mind, silently to yourself, just to say these words or repeat these words as I say them, okay? Even if at first you don't actually feel it, I want you to say it anyway, with the intention of experiencing it. I am completely calm and relaxed. I am completely calm and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. I am completely calm and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. I am completely calm and relaxed. I recognize the good within me. Thank you. I care about you. And I want you to be well. I recognize the good within me. Thank you. I care about you. And I want you to be well. Now as your body goes deeper, deeper, deeper down, my voice, my words are going to drift with you to become a part of your experience now. Your body is completely calm and relaxed. Like you've had a bliss anesthesia. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. All that matters now is you, the sound of my voice, and freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. Every negative thought that was ever placed on you. And as your body goes completely asleep in that chair, like you've had a bliss anesthesia, the essence of who you are, that intangible part of your being, your higher self, can drift away from your physical body. Feel that happening now. The most incredible feeling of liberation and freedom, the essence of who you are, drifting away from your physical body. You may be able to see your body as you drift away from it. You know, like we read about these near-death experiences. People say, I was in hospital, I was in the bed, and I think I died because I drifted up to the ceiling and I could see my body in that bed. Imagine the essence of who you are, drifting away from your physical form. And as you drift away from your body, I want you to look at your body in that chair, and I want you to recognize just how fabulous that body is. Just for a moment, think about your feet. All the places that you've been because of your feet, the people you've met, the experiences you've had because of your ability to move. Think of your hands. How incredible your hands. The people you've held with those hands, the love you felt through those fingers, the pleasure you felt through those hands, the things it's enabled you to do. Now, the people you love that you've held with those hands. Think about your hands, just how incredible are your hands. And think about your arms, the people you've hugged with those arms. Look at your body and show it some love. Recognize just how incredible you are. You are the most incredible creation in the known universe. You are love, you are loved, you are loving. That's right. Feel it now. An absolute understanding of just how loved you are. For a moment, think about those people you love, the people that love you. Think for a moment about the people you've helped with your words and your care and your love and your kindness. And I feel that love now like a burning hot sun in the summer sky. Shrink it down to a white hot nuclear powered ball of light as big as a golf ball and pull that into your heart center. Feel it. Feel your heart expanding with that love. Feel it growing even stronger. Just for a moment, step into a moment of gratitude, a time in your life when you felt absolute gratitude for someone or something. Just think of it now. Absolute feeling of gratitude. I want you, if you can move, to reach up with your left hand. Reach up. So if you're reaching for the stars with that left hand, reach up and step into a moment of gratitude. Feel into it. When you absolutely feel that feeling of gratitude, I want you to grasp it with that hand. Do it now. And I'll pull that into your heart. Put that hand over your heart. Open your hand and feel that feeling of gratitude flooding your heart. Put your other hand over the top of that hand and feel that feeling of total gratitude flooding your body and your mind. Feel it now. Once again, reach up with that hand. Reach up and step into a moment of laughter. A time when you just laughed. That wonderful, unconscious laugh that just comes from that wonderful place in you. Step into a moment of laughter. Think about it now. See what you'd see. Felt what you felt then. That's right. When you feel it, grasp it with that hand and pull it into your heart. Put that hand over your heart and feel your heart expanding with that feeling of gratitude and laughter. Put your other hand over the top and feel it growing even stronger. A feeling of gratitude, a feeling of laughter, a feeling of joy. Feel it. Let that flood your body. And then once again, reach up with that hand. As if you're reaching for the stars, you're reaching for the moon. And now step into a moment of love, of pure love. Remember where you were. And feel that feeling of love. Total pure love. With no side, with no agenda, just pure love. Step into that moment and feel into it. Feel it once again and know that is you. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. Grasp it with that hand once again and pull it into your heart. Open that hand up over your heart. Put your other hand over the top and feel it flooding your body and your mind. An immense feeling of gratitude and love and laughter. Let it flood your body into every cell, every fiber, and notice your body cannot contain it. It is way beyond what your body can contain. Now feel it spreading out, rippling out from your body, and notice it has no edge. It is infinite. See it rippling out to the edges of the known universe. And you're at the center of it, and feel that feeling of love for yourself, appreciation for your body, for everything you are, everything you can be, and everything you have ever been. Feel it now. A totally in your understanding about your worth and your value. Just how loved you are. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. Feel it. And as the essence of who you are just drifts now, imagine it's drifting out further and further into space, away from the planet Earth. Imagine you're just drifting out into the universe so you can look back. You see that planet, that beautiful blue planet that we're lucky enough to inhabit. See it getting smaller and smaller until it becomes a pinprick of light in the distance. And notice as that happens, how your perspective changes. Things that had seemed overwhelming no longer have any power over you. Things that had seemed difficult or hard to do no longer have any power over you. Things that had seemed of worth no longer have that same value. You are unique. You are the most incredible creation in the known universe. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. Feel it. You are ageless. You are infinite. The essence of who you are cannot be touched. Once again, just look at your body in that chair. How beautiful is your body? How beautiful are you as a human being? How lucky are we that we landed on this planet to experience this life on this planet with everything, with the pain, with the hurt, with the love, with the pleasure, all of those things that our body enables us to feel. Think about it now and recognize you are the most incredible creation in the history of the universe. There has never been anyone like you. You are unique. There will never be anyone like you again. You are incredible. Just for a moment, feel that love and appreciation for yourself. Know it's okay to feel that good. Because from today, you'll look after yourself. You'll take care of yourself. You'll be kind to yourself because you are worth it. Think of all the people who you've not met yet, that you will help at some point in your life with this understanding. People who at the moment are stuck, that you're going to meet, and with your understanding and your love and your kindness and your skill, you're going to get them unstuck. How many people are you going to enlighten with your understanding about worth, about value, that you are more than you ever imagined you were? Whatever you think you are far, far more than that. And while you're feeling that love, I want you to go back, I don't know, 3 months old, 6 weeks old, 6 months old, 9 months old. So that time when you just were joy, you were just love, you were just essence. Before the world got to you, before any limiting beliefs got to you, before any opinions were placed on you, go back to that beautiful child and just hold that child. Hold that child to your chest. You may even smell that child's head, that wonderful smell that babies have. Smell that. That wonderful, incredible feeling. The softness, the love, the joy. Feel it. Because that is who you are. You are ageless. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. Feel it and know that is who you are. No matter what's been placed on you throughout your life, the essence of who you are is ageless and it has not changed. The natural intelligence that you were born with. Feel that. How incredible is it to experience that? From today, whenever you want to connect with your higher self, think about Luba's words. You take that breath in, you look up, you hold the intention in your heart to connect with your higher self. Look up again, as if you're looking through the top of your head. Take that breath in, hold it, and just say the word connect. And you'll instantly connect to this experience you're having now. Feel it, just enjoy it. I'm going to go silent. And in that silence, I want you to experience this feeling of pure love. You are love. You are loved. And you are loving. You are beautiful in the true meaning of that word. Feel that. Feel your heart expanding with that incredible feeling of gratitude and laughter and love. Know that's who you are. That fill you up and lift you up and light you up. Go with your unconscious mind as often as you need to know that is you. Once again, hold that baby to your chest. You can smell that baby's head and hair. That's a smell, that's a memory you never forget. How much joy is it feeling that? The essence of who you are, your true natural intelligence that goes beyond anything material. A time when those thoughts were pure. There was no matrix, there was just the pure thought that reached the consciousness that made you smile, that made you giggle, that made you laugh. Feel it. And know that is you. That is your essence, that is who you are, that is your higher self. So in a while, when I count to 10, you drift back up. That feeling of love you're feeling now, that feeling of freedom, that new understanding, that moment of enlightenment is going to stay with you. And no matter what's going on around you, you'll recognize that none of it can touch you. None of it can touch the essence of who you are. No matter what's happening to your physical body, it cannot touch you. The essence of you are is ageless. It's infinite. It has no edge. It is pure. It is pure thought. It is pure love. It is pure natural intelligence. So as I count to 10, every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon at a molecular level. It's now your reality. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel different than you've ever felt before. You will see things differently. You'll experience life differently. You'll understand just how loved you are, and you will look after yourself. You will take care of yourself. And you'll be as kind to yourself and want for yourself what you want for the people you love. And you'll treat yourself with that kindness. Create the body that you want. Create the happiness that you want. Create the health that you want. You can do that because you are worth it. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible. And on 10, that feeling of pure joy, love, laughter, and gratitude is going to stay with you. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful. 2, treat yourself to the body and the health you want. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. 4, feel the force of that love, joy, gratitude, and laughter flooding your body and your mind. 5, feeling incredibly alive. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10. Excellent. Arena, you are love, you are loved, you are loving. Philippa, your glasses are the space I go to when I want to go laugh. When I want to laugh, I think about Philippa's glasses. Can you all see her? See? How good does that make you feel? She don't even say a word. Just has to wear those glasses and makes everyone feel better. Ron, you are beautiful. You are loved. You are loved. You are loving, Ron. How many people in this group love you? You're fantastic. So look, I hope you enjoyed the evening, and just feel great. Take that feeling to everything you do. And remember, whatever you thought you were, you are far, far more than that. Okay, look, well, have a beautiful weekend, and feel the love.
That was awesome, Freddie.
Wonderful, thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
I will do.
Freddie. Good.
Take care. I think we've got.
Bye, everybody.
I think we've got
Thank you.
graduation this weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, on
Everybody, we're
Sunday. On Sunday.
graduating. Yay!
Party!
I'll see you all soon.
Yay. See you.
Right. Thank you.
Fine.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Sunday. That was brilliant.
Thanks.
Thank you.